So the last fight of last weekend's card was Stephen Wonderboy Thompson defeating Geoff Neal. I think it was elementary. Wonderboy defeated Geoff Neal. I mentioned it. Stephen Wonderboy Thompson is in his advanced age of 38. So, I mean, can you really send him to fight for the belt? And can the UFC really back him? I know that's a tough question to ask, because if you deserve to fight for the belt, you should fight for the belt. But the UFC is going to think of this like a business, which they are. Are they going to be able to back a guy in his advanced stage? And I mentioned this in my preview that Wonder Boy is not Wonder Boy. He's Wonder Man. He's an older man that relies on his quickness and his agility to get out of sticky situations. Doesn't keep his hands up. Really relies on his movement. Reminds me of Roy Jones, actually. The fact is, he relied on his speed. He relied on his quickness. He fought in an unorthodox way. And I think it really it hit him hard. But we haven't seen that with Wonder Boy yet. Wonder Boy's still able to evade shots and still able to read shots. But when will that time come? And I think this is the question that you can ask about any fighter. When is that time going to come where Father Time catches up? But I think that even though the UFC is going to think about this in a business, with the business mentality of being able to back a person like this, like, are they going to be able to back him? That's kind of the question that I have, and I want to ask is, are we going to be able to back this guy? And I think that if he is able to get a couple more wins, he deserves to fight for that belt. It depends on who he fights, and speaking of that, he called out Masvidal after that. I don't think Masvidal is going to take that fight. I know he wants redemption, but I think Masvidal is too much of a name now. He's been doing all this crazy stuff where he's on the UFC cover for the game. This guy's a big star now. Is he going to be able to risk it all for an unorthodox fighter who doesn't look like he's aging, who defeated him before? Is he going to take that risk? I think there's other fights for Masvidal that he would rather take, like the Kobe Covington fight. That's a layup for him. They've been jawing at each other forever. So before we move on from the Wonderboy Thompson fight, I just wanted to shout out Geoff Neal. Thank God he got back into the octagon. It looked like everything was good. He was coming off of congenital heart failure, which is super scary. So I just wanted to give my not condolences, but I wanted to give my good thoughts to him, because what he did was pretty amazing himself. And I think it's being underplayed is that the fact was the guy was on death's door. Literally. We say that about fighters that cut some weight, but this guy was having heart failure. And now he's fighting in the toughest MMA organization in the world against one of the toughest strikers in the world. So I don't think we should overlook Geoff Neal.